From the story of Joyce Meyer to the wonderful movie that is The Green Mile, forgiveness is the giver of true peace. The moment you can learn to forgive somebody, trust me, that's the biggest superpower you can ever have. And it will give you peace like nothing has given you peace before. Cheers, everyone. My name is Andre, and I just cooked at TCO podcast.
So welcome. We have another podcast episode, and I'm pretty excited about this one. Excited in a sense that I felt like the first time we spoke about forgiveness, it was a solo episode and all. I just felt the need that episode was so needed. I would say healing, but I just felt a whole lot leaving me as I was just speaking because the concept of forgiveness is something that we that's really deep, and the more we get to know about it, the more we get to know about it, the more we receive healing, and we actually get better as individuals because there's so much to forgiveness, so much forgiveness. So basically I thought to do a part two because one episode cannot do justice to this heavy thing that is forgiveness. When I mean heavy thing, so this strong thing that's forgiveness, this deep thing that's forgiveness. So I thought to make another episode, and that's what we have right now. So today we have someone here with me.
Da da dan.
So please,
Drum roll, please.
who are you and what are you doing on this podcast?
Who am I? Who am I? Let the audience have a guess. They should slot something into the comment section.
Of who you are.
Yes, sir.
Please.
All right. So,
Please.
hey everyone. My name is Andre, aka Andre, aka CDX. Well, my name is also Chidera. So,
Yes,
I'm
it's
her
a
namesake.
Dera. Yeah, I didn't really think about it. So we have a Dera heart to heart. So
Gang gang.
Dera X, Dera B, Dera respond
Dera
to
square.
Dera square. Yes, giving you guys a heart to heart on forgiveness.
Heart to heart.
A heart to heart because we're about to go. So yeah, Dera, how do you feel to be here today? I am super excited. Not really. I'm happy to have you, Sha. Not like I'm
Well, I
jumping.
feel excited. I feel grateful.
Oh, to be
I was
on my
just trying to do a
podcast.
meme. Don't get a big head. Anyway, so
I know you still do feel everything.
yeah, so it's an honor to be here actually.
Yeah, it's an honor. I
To
know
be on the TCO podcast.
it is.
The one and only
The one and only.
TCO
The one and only.
trademark.
The one and only. Basically, yeah. So let's get into business. So
All
there
right.
are
Yeah.
this thing called forgiveness. Like it's so funny how like I said this in the previous episode. Like I just used to think like forgiveness, like because I know people are really so passionate when they talk about forgiveness, and I'm like, you guys are just evil. You guys should have a better heart and forgive people around you. But like growing up, I'm now realizing that forgiveness has a lot of effects on us. Like it's a whole lot. So basically, what's your okay? Before I get into that, forgiveness. Everyone knows what forgiveness is. Let me give you guys a more structured definition and all that. So it says forgiveness is the act of letting go of resentment, anger, and bitterness towards something or someone that has caused harm or injury. It involves releasing negative emotions associated with hurts and moving forward, with a renewed sense of peace, understanding, and compassion. This basically
Mm,
says forgiveness is not dwelling on negative feelings, dwelling on
yeah.
resentment. It's the ability to just let go, not really let go, but to just let's say be distracted. Which I basically don't allow negative thoughts to consume you. So there are forgiveness to you. Let's
Hmm.
have it.
Well, to start with, forgiveness is it's much broader than we can actually
It's so big, honestly. It's an ocean.
deliberate because
It's an
it's
ocean.
easy to say, okay, I forgive you, and you still have the resentment and you still have the feelings that whenever you see that person, the trigger warnings just come over
Yeah.
and they just come flowing. So another angle you can look at forgiveness. Yeah, there are some things you can just forgive and okay. But I think sometime back in
You have to give
2020,
us a story. Thank you. Okay.
when I had this type of deep conversation with my brother, because I
Okay.
think we were praying about something, and I
Yeah.
think the priest said something like, "Can you forgive someone if like they shot your mother? Like you're there, like right in front of you, they shot
Yeah.
your mother died, and you're just like looking. You love your mother so much. Can
Yeah.
you forgive that person? Then when you now go to the court of justice and everything, somehow the court case will now come and tell you, okay, the guy should just go to jail."
Yeah.
And you're like,
That's all.
that's all?
That's all. You killed my mother, and all you.
And you now meet a priest again, or maybe you meet a pastor or somebody, but like, just forgive them. And
How is that even possible?
you're like, I'm not seeing my mother again, and it's because of
And,
this
and
human being.
yes, and you're telling me I
And you're
should
telling me I
forgive.
should forgive you. It's never that simple.
It
That's why
honestly isn't.
this conversation of forgiveness, it's much deeper. It's not even like heartbreak. Heartbreak, you know that okay, you're going to heal, see somebody new, but when you look at it from that particular angle,
Yeah.
you're not going to see her again.
Yeah.
And maybe they give that person 10 years imprisonment.
Yeah.
So after 10 years, that
It's
person is going
gone.
to come back and like be roaming the streets again.
It's a lot. It's a lot and almost impossible because how? Like, where do we go from here, really?
Yeah, so where do we go from here? Like, so when we talk about the whole forgiveness, you have to be strong to forgive somebody.
Mm-hmm.
I also watched because this topic is very deep.
It is. It is
It
so
is
deep.
very deep, especially when you're like on your healing journey. Maybe
Yeah.
someone broke up with you and
Yeah.
you felt really, really bad,
Yeah.
or even your parents, if you had abusive parents,
Yeah.
and you just go around thinking like, oh, why is my life like this? Is it my parents' fault? This, that. You just be questioning a lot
A
of
lot.
things. So I don't know. Is it Joyce Meyer? Um, I was watching her video one time on
Okay.
forgiveness, and Joyce Meyer was really. Is it Joyce Meyer?
Yeah, just me.
It's just
It should be her.
it should be
Like,
her.
I
But
think it should be her.
so she was like talking about how she went through depression and abusive. She had an abusive father basically. So how her father will rape her father will do a lot of things to
Hints to
her.
her.
Yeah. So and she just like was like she found it so hard to forgive him because this is someone that is meant to like
Yeah,
protect you.
and things like that are really traumatic.
Yeah.
Like, they
So
are really traumatic.
they're traumatic on so many different levels because it will affect you psychologically, it will affect how you view men, it will
Yeah, like
affect
the trauma
your
behind that is a
yeah,
whole lot.
it will affect your relationships because this is not just like any man. This is your father. Like this is the person that literally brought
Yeah,
you up. So he was bringing you up and looking at you in some type of
yeah,
like. By the time you start thinking about everything, you find it so hard to forgive the
yeah.
person. So, but she said she forgave him because it's
I
what
feel
God
like,
tells us
yes,
to
let me
do.
tell you something. So in the last episode I had about this, it talks about how forgiveness, like, sometimes when things are done, bad things happen to you,
Hmm.
obviously we're all going through is a trauma, it's traumatic,
Yeah,
and it has like an impact in your life. So
yeah,
I talked about, I had said a story last in the last episode about how, like, a young girl, her parents never had time for her father never had time for her, and the only time she got her father to like get like come to school and give her attention was when she fought. She threw tantrums, and then the headmaster was like, "Oh, come here, do this, do that." So,
hmm,
and she grew up causing tantrums. She grew up being a nuisance.
yeah. It's
You get, she
just
never,
was part of her.
just part of her. She never even knew that this was
The
because of,
reason.
yeah, a traumatic experience until she actually went to therapy.
Yeah,
So I do believe, like, for Joyce, me, I said she healed. I feel like, honestly, let me know, you we need God needs to be in our forgiveness. It's not possible to forgive without God. Like,
yes,
it's something that's impossible. Like, you know how they say to what is air and then to forgive is divine.
yeah.
Like, it just need a divine intervention. Personally, that's what I feel.
Say divine intervention.
It to
Hey,
forgive.
Well, I agree with you 100%. So the whole Joyce Meyer story, like it cuts me deep
Yeah.
because I've had like female friends and I try to like talk to them on it. You get the most of them they have lots of stigma because of growing up.
Yeah. And you
They
can
had
imagine how
somebody that
much.
not even their parents. So like they
Yeah.
had someone like maybe help or something that was probably molesting
Seen
them
them.
or
Do you get
whatever.
like how
This is
traumatic
a
will it be when they
very
actually
deep
see them?
conversation.
Some of them might not even have like the best sexual lives because they just remember each time you touch
It's
them, they remember.
it was so bad. So and it's really bad because you no matter what you tell them, they've seen that stuff in action
Yeah.
and they can't like just grow past that.
Yeah.
So coming from a guy point of view, you have to then first of all show them not everyone is like that.
Yeah.
And truly not everyone is like that.
But genuinely speaking, can
Yeah.
one really heal like base? Yeah, good when you treat them in a certain way. But these people are dealing with trauma. It's not because of you. They might love you well, but it's just still traumatic to them. How do they heal from that? You get like they might meet a really nice guy, they have like good banter and stuff, but when it comes to like the whole sexual aspect, they no want, they can't do it.
Mm, that's because of how let me talk on the point of view how a therapist will tell you
Yeah,
is because of there are so many triggers
yeah,
around it. So you first of all have to understand the person, understand the triggers, then there's no way you can say, okay, I'm going to paint it like this, that it's not going to look bad.
yeah.
But show them this is a whole different way about
Person,
it. Like the approach is different. Like
everything is
let me
different.
give you a setting now. Okay. Um just this and a random example.
Okay,
Just a random example. So
okay,
you have a babe that she has sexual trauma.
yeah,
So even if you touch her, everything just feels wrong. So that traumatic approach is because of like the sexual action is wrong.
mm,
But let's say you take her out on a date, you're not being upfront about the whole sexual this thing.
mm-hmm.
You take her out on a date, you treat her like she is a
So what I
lady.
do now is giving tips to how men can.
Hmm?
But I'm listening. But I'm listening. It's not
So
funny.
you take her out on a date. You don't touch her except she wants to be touched.
Yeah,
And just being with somebody, just talking, that's how you talk to somebody, they'll become very comfortable with you.
yeah.
Especially if you're saying it's slow, sure, I'm giving you guys tips one. So there's how like just talk. Don't be upfront about anything because
Yeah,
remove from your mind that you want to do anything.
yeah,
Be that person's human. Like see that person as a human being. So become their friend. Go for that movie before you know it. From maybe she's feeling cold or maybe something. She might even be the one holding your hands. Lots of girls
and
they don't even
everything.
like hands like holding because of all those traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
So
So from everything you said, I just feel like for every reaction, there's always an opposite. Like I feel like why people act the way they do for a reason. A certain person acts this way because of something associated with her. Someone that battles with anger. So someone that battles with anger issues is probably went through something to be that angry. So basically, when you see people and probably you're in a relationship with someone that is insane, there's a reason why the person acts that way. So it's your duty to try to be sensitive.
it's not your duty.
It's not your duty, but like when you're with someone, okay, not your duty. What are you saying now? But basically, you should try your best to like find the roots. Like there's always for something to grow, there's always a root. There's a reason why this person is growing this kind of branches. Depends on the seed that was sown there, basically. So we just need to try to,
Well, when it comes to anger issues, that one's another topic on its own because it's broader than what you think. Because
mm,
lots of people that you see, it's passive aggression they have. They are
yeah,
not angry at you.
yeah. It's because of something.
It might
Like
not even be trauma or anything. It can be maybe a driver they saw on the road. That's why
some people always are constantly angry. You call that one passive
some people are
aggression?
like 0 to 100.
in their anger.
their anger. Yeah. So
Yeah, so I don't know. Basically, from what you said, I just feel like we should find the roots of why people act the way they do.
but
But
then again,
yeah,
say with the Lagos, some people they mad. Okay,
actually,
forget joke.
actually,
But
actually.
on a serious note,
So I do believe like forgiveness is has to do with yourself, or it has to do with anybody around you. Because let's take it back to when you talked about someone shooting your mother and everything.
mm-hmm,
Like I don't even know that one is something that I don't even know how we're going to
you're
wrap
going
our
to
heads around it. But like it said, we just need to find a place, basically, a place like, but
mm-hmm,
because it's all about ourselves, like it's
yeah.
about ourselves. Once we're able to make peace, sort of, but not that you make peace with that, but once you're able to make peace, that's where the healing starts.
Well, yes, you make peace, and okay, let me give everyone that's listening the major tips of forgiveness because me too, I found myself in tough situations where you did something to me. I'm
Yeah,
like looking at you, like I
yeah,
thought I knew you, but you did this, and
yeah.
I just have to forgive you. First of all, forgiveness comes from a place of God. Now we're going to enter the whole Bible factor.
A real Bible factor,
Yeah,
okay.
because we sin every day, and if you read the Old Testament and you read the New Testament, you see how God already like forgive us. Like God was like in the Old Testament, like, well, I might just wipe out everybody. You guys are fucking up too much. But like he just said, let me do the one big thing, bring my son Jesus Christ to carry all our sins
But God
away.
wiped a lot of people in the Old Testament.
And now
Yeah,
so
you.
now waiting at the now why people they tell you say God of Old Testament come back. Yeah. But not misquoting the Bible or anything. So Jesus Christ teaches us to always forgive because He forgave us. Sometimes you've done the biggest sin ever. There are some people that have done like if you go for confession in Catholic Church, the things you hear, like the things people have done, but you see God has like forgiven them, and
So you used to
He's
hear some of them.
no. I'm just like saying in general.
Basically.
Sometimes they mimic what these guys used to say during confession. So
Mm.
I'm just giving examples. So first of all, remember that Jesus has a reason and you just need to forgive because that's why God brought Jesus Christ to be our avenger. Let him
A
be the
real
one to do it for us.
Avenger.
Yeah, I've always had
A real
that.
Avenger.
People see me because people and one thing people like about me is that I'm not quick to anger because no matter what you do to me, I'm not saying that you should test me. No test me, and I'm just warning you
Yeah.
guys also. But whatever you do to me, I'm just like, okay, God would like fight for me and everything. But even with that, it becomes so heavy.
So heavy.
Yeah. But you just have to let go and let God. That's the
Honestly,
first
I
part.
feel like if there's anyone listening or you know someone listening battling with a kind of forgiveness that's quite inevitable, you just need to take it to God.
Yeah.
Like for real. Like
Yeah.
that there's no motivational speech for killing your mother. You need to take it to God.
Yeah.
Like with that, God is able to heal you and you're just
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
make
So
everything make
I'm
sense.
I'm just going to like it's very broad because I'm going to give you few examples that I've learned over the years.
On
So
forgiveness.
yeah, yeah,
Okay?
actually. So you guys should buckle up.
Buckle up, guys.
So first of all, I've mentioned just forgive because of Jesus said we should. So there are now some cases where for you to forgive, you feel you need that closure. You need to know why that person did what they
In
did.
terms of a breakup
Break
or
up,
friendship breakup, any kind of
anything,
it, yeah.
anything. Even the case of someone shooting your mom, you want to know, okay, why
Why
did you
did
do
you do
that?
this? Actually, there's
Why
always
that you see
need
it in
for
movies, like
closure.
they'll be like they
Closure.
want to go to the person's prison cell and be like,
Why
why
did you
did
that?
you do that?
Even after, yeah.
Like, and if you've watched, oh god, what's the name? Is it Green Book? Green Book. You guys need to go and watch the movie Green Book. It's
Is it a
about
series?
no, it's a movie.
Okay.
It's a movie. It's a movie. I think is it Green Book?
Is it Green Book?
Is it Green Book? Yeah. So like, is it Green Book? No. The name of the movie is Green Mile. The
The
Green
Green
Mile.
Mile.
Yeah. If you watch that movie, no matter the hard guy you are,
You cry.
you will cry.
Wow. What's the concept? What's basically about?
So basically, There's this guy, they call him, he's big, he's very,
Mm,
very huge
mm,
and black.
mm,
It's part of like a whole racist movie. I don't know if you guys saw one stuff that happened like in the past. The
yeah,
movie is sort of based on a true life story because there was
mm.
a small boy that they said he killed two girls, two white girls. So he was like 10 years old, I think 10 years old, and they put him on the electric chair and killed him.
Oh,
Yeah, it's actually what happened in real life. And after many years that the boy has died, they brought up like and said, "Oh, he didn't do it." So they made the movie of that
like yeah,
story,
yeah.
The Green Mile. So you look at it, they took this guy into prison,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't do anything. He didn't do it, and they killed him via the electric chair.
They killed him.
Yeah, the guy in the movie. So they killed him. If you watch the movie, you will almost go to tears. And they made the guy like an angel in the movie because wherever he was, miracles were happening and
Yeah.
stuff. So you guys can watch it Green Mile. So that's just like one concept. So where I'm coming into forgiveness now, most people they want that closure. They want to know why did you do that? But if you can't get the closure, you still have to forgive the person.
Yeah.
Like to be honest. And
Because some people won't say, people won't give reasons for why they did things. People won't say sorry for their actions.
yeah,
Sometimes what they did can never be reversed. Then what do you do with that?
yeah. So on your journey of forgiveness, let me tell you, first of all, remember that Jesus forgave you. Two, remember to forgive yourself.
Honestly, oh my God, you just okay. Let me know. Continue.
You know, say I sabi
Yeah,
talk
just give
now.
me tips. Like
So
that's a really strong
you have to
person.
forgive yourself because if you can't forgive yourself, how will you forgive somebody else?
Yeah,
Like there are some things, there's some really cringy things. If you go back and reflect that you have done,
yeah,
I have done, then you'd be like, why did I do this? And I have to forgive myself
yeah.
first of all.
I do feel like when you're able to forgive yourself, forgiving others becomes easy. Because the truth, why you're not
Yes.
able to forgive other people is because of yourself.
Yeah.
Like let's say a friend does something to you, a partner they do something to you. You're constantly thinking of how you lost guard and this thing happened to you.
Yes,
Like how on earth did this
exactly.
happen to you?
Yes,
You
exactly.
you
That
look at yourself and say,
how
Chidera,
did you
you,
lose
a whole
God?
you. Like how did you lose God and this happened to you? So it's really not about the person, but about you.
Yeah.
So when you're able to calm down and say and just like forgive yourself, let go of the whole situation, forgiving other people becomes easy.
Yeah,
Because forgiveness is just you battling with your own mind, like you battling with your emotions,
exactly.
fighting with it, wrestling with it. And if you're not able to come to terms and make peace, you're gonna be bitter. You're going to carry resentment inside you.
Yeah, that's the reason why we always tell people to forgive because it's if you don't forgive and you're holding in that resentment, you're just giving yourself lots and lots of bitter energy,
Yeah.
which is toxic. You then become toxic and different stuffs. But if you forgive, bearing in mind that oh, you just did like see what this person did to you, but you did something good,
Good.
it gives you that sense of peace
Peace
a little bit.
afterwards.
A little bit. So another tip, this one it was actually
So
my
now on
mom.
tips of forgiveness.
Yeah, it
What do,
was actually my mom that taught me this tip
okay.
because I was going through some stuff. And see, kudos.
Give us a story of
Have and I
forgiveness
know they
now.
give stories. Everybody should just now forgiving them. but no matter how heavy it is and hard it is, sometimes talk to somebody
About it.
about it because the way you're picturing it in your head might not actually be as deep as you're seeing it.
Yeah.
It's deep, oh. I'm not saying it's not deep,
What
but
that
it's
person did
not.
to you is deep
It's deep, but you look at it from another
angle.
angle.
Yeah, when you're able to talk about things, it's just lighter. Like
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
lighter.
So she was like, the reason why you can't forgive that person is because you're keeping that memory at the fore
On your
brain.
yeah.
So
Like you always see
you
it.
always
You
see
always
it, you're
see
always
it.
remembering it. So I'm not saying you should forget to. Don't forget. I tell people this. Forgive. Don't forget.
That's another big concept because how we talked about like there's so much to this before I get into the whole forgiveness that we see. Like, okay, forgiving and forgetting. I do believe like forgiveness doesn't always require reconciliation. You can forgive what your ex did
Yeah,
to
you can
you.
forgive and move
You can
on.
forgive what that friend did to you. You can forgive what someone did to you, but you don't necessarily need to reconcile because like I don't think you should let that in because
Yeah.
how does reconciliation? Yeah, reconciliation can happen, but I don't think you should let that
The
person
more you're
in.
saying this reconciliation, sorry, I work with like finances, so the more I hear reconciliation, I'm like,
Oh,
oh, they're giving me money.
stop, stop. So basically, like forgiveness doesn't always require like reconnection. That's the
Yeah,
word.
it
So you could
doesn't.
forgive. Basically, why we are forgiving is so you let go of that memory, let go of that
Yeah,
encounter, and you just fly and not allow such things weigh you down. You just let it go, let the
but
person go.
then again, you can still reconnect, but just on the basis of because one thing I believe in is I don't have any enemies.
I don't even think
You're
you
going
don't.
to have
Yeah.
enemies, oh, but
No,
it's
like
better
you. No,
to
you saying you're not reconnected doesn't mean the person is dead to you. You can still.
yeah
You just have the person at arm's length. The person is not
yeah
as close as you. Just
yeah
know now. You yourself use your brain. If somebody like he steps on your feet
yeah. But
and you're like you what's this? You know steps on your feet the first time. Will you leave your leg again for the person to step on your feet again?
if I love the person,
Okay, you're saying love. Oh,
don't
another
mind me,
angle.
don't
You're saying
mind,
love.
don't mind. I
Basically,
go
you should
come on my
just be
leg.
smart. Come on your leg. Do you get like? I'm not saying you should run away from the
I
person,
don't go
but
just come on leg. I go come on leg, put spike, match me again first.
that kind of thing. But all this forgive, don't forget, don't reconcile. What of people that have to forgive their husbands? What of people that have to forgive their mother, their father? What of people that have to forgive people that they can't necessarily like that they have to reconnect with?
Oh well, forgiveness. Let me talk like a pastor would tell you. You just have to. But
Hey,
I get
oh,
the thing is that you can forgive if the person is the type of person that you can talk to. You can forgive them and talk to them about it because I am big on communication.
yeah,
Okay, you did this to me. I don't like it. Have you learned that I don't like this?
yeah,
So that's a major factor, especially when it becomes like your partner
yeah.
or whoever you married. That's why I tell people that most of you don't know your spouses. That the moment you learn how to communicate with your spouse and you make sure your spouse also knows how to communicate with you, that okay, you do this, okay, how are we going to resolve this? All right, we can talk about it. I forgive you, we move on,
Yeah,
we learn basically because I tell people this actions speak volumes.
they
I
speak
hate people
volumes.
telling me I'm sorry.
Ah,
Like I'm serious. And it started from high school. I had this senior. So like when he was like bullying us and all that, I would be like begging him, oh sorry. He'd be like, why are you telling me sorry? You now beat us the more.
hey,
So I don't like people telling me sorry because when I was telling that senior sorry, he was beating me the more. Like, why am I telling him sorry?
oh, wow,
Then
sorry.
when I went to Covenant, one of our deans, when you're begging him, like you're inside trouble, you're begging him, sir, please, sir. You know what he said to us?
Mm,
He said, because they call us kings and queens in Covenant. So he said,
wow.
kings don't beg. He said, kings don't beg. So why are you begging me? So I don't like people telling me, I'm sorry. I prefer your action to change.
Yeah, than saying that.
Yeah, and because you're saying you're sorry, even if you say it, yeah, some people don't mean it. The actions don't change.
Yeah.
So what's that? I've forgiven you, but I've seen your actions don't change and they don't align with me. So I take off. Like, there's no need for you to stay. To be honest,
Uh-uh. In
yeah.
what concept now? In what context?
In what context? As far
There's no need for you to stay in what
okay,
context?
there's no need for you to be around that energy because it then just becomes toxic. I'm talking based on the part that you're talking about, like husband, father, mother.
So you just
Is that
leave your husband, you leave your family.
yes?
Wow.
It's no longer. See, you're saying yes, but why I said yes is because it's no longer a family. I married you because of oh, we have this base of trust.
So yeah, what you're saying is that we should be breaking up in our marriages
That's
just
not what
because
I'm
of
saying.
okay, what are you saying?
I'm saying you have to get before you say that's why I was like marriage is deep. Before you say you want to marry this person, You have to have had that base, that
Mm-hmm.
conversation, and everything. That see, if this is happening, I'm like this. My nose. You talk about your boundaries. Like you have those deep conversations. That's why lots of guys, lots of men, they go and marry younger girls. Like you see a 35-year-old person, guy is ready to marry, he'll go and marry someone that's like 18 because she has not really been exposed to know, oh, these are her boundaries. And most of them are really like, I don't want to say shy to talk
About it.
about it. So it's now when that person has now grown up, their eyes now like opening when they're
Yeah.
like 25, 30, they are now like learning.
Yeah.
Then they'll see, okay, this is what I can do. That's why I like to tell people, even in your dating, take your time. Take your time. Build that
Because I feel like in
understanding.
marriage there's a different grace people have because I don't know. Marriage is something where you have to try and make it work. How whatever they do
Yeah,
to
because
you.
I don't believe in divorce. So
No, like it's
I
not even a
don't
real thing. When
I
you
don't
enter
believe in
marriage, you have to
divorce.
make it work. But like
Yeah.
if it's after your life, then that's a different story. But
That's what I'm saying now.
then you have to make it work and everything.
Yeah. So I don't believe in divorce, so and I don't believe in breakups.
Yeah.
Before I tell you, okay, we're going to be in a relationship, because I believe relationship, for you to be in a relationship, it has to lead to marriage.
Yeah.
Except you're wasting your time, and I don't believe in waiting time wasters. You can say, okay, let's be here having our flings. That's fine.
Yeah.
Talk about it. Don't be yo because I want to do this, babe. I'll come in with relationship. No, some girls are like down that okay, we're not going to date, but
Do
don't
this.
play someone's emotions and feelings because it cuts deeper.
Don't.
And now back to forgiveness. That person now has to forgive you for doing that.
Yeah.
It's not fair now.
True.
It's not
So
fair.
there are
Hmm.
forgiving oneself because this whole concept of forgiveness, we're coming back to this, I get, but
Yeah.
forgiving oneself, like,
Hmm.
do you find it easy to forgive yourself? How
Uh,
often do you forgive yourself?
well, I recently forgave myself. That was like in 2021 for I think something that was, I don't say battling with since I was small because of lack of understanding. But you have to put yourself in that zone where you're reflecting on it. Like it's just like it. You're with your therapist. Your therapist
Yeah.
is asking you these questions. You're bringing it out. You're unfolding it. So you now have to unfold every single thing. Yeah, that's okay. This is how it started, and you have to then gradually forgive
Yeah.
you. Like go in prayer and forgive yourself. Like this even goes down to some people's sexual this thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes it might have been what you watched when you were younger, and you
It's
watched it
just in your
like it's
in your
just in
head.
your head, like ringing, and you're just like you're now like trying to divert the mind, and you go and do something stupid. So now you're doing something stupid is the coping mechanism of what you did for what you saw when you were younger. So you now have to stop blaming it on what you saw when you were younger. Take what's the word? Take responsibility that yes, you did this and you're going to forgive yourself about it. So you should stop ringing about it every time. Some therapists will tell you that like you're bringing this back up again. Is this? Are
Yeah.
we going? Are we taking 10 steps
Yeah.
back? I thought we are
I'm
making
moving
progress.
forward. Are we
Yeah.
going back?
So forgive yourself and just die it there. Like even if something happens again, don't blame it on that
Yeah.
stuff that happened before. Just die it there.
So now I think I should have asked my first question because it feels like I'm going back.
Okay.
Like, have you ever told yourself, oh, if this never happens, is there something you feel like you can never forgive yourself for? Like, I know eventually you have to forgive yourself, but like, is there something you've put to mind that, if this particular thing happens? I feel like I should have asked this before you said all that.
I see. To be honest, if you asked me this like 2 years ago,
You'd have had
I'd
a
have
different
given
a
you a
response.
response.
But
But
now,
now I'm just like one, everything happens for a
a
reason.
reason.
Two, whatever it is, God got my back, and
Yeah, I feel like
yeah,
forgiveness gives a kind of like there's new life when forgiveness is your lifestyle.
yeah,
There's new life, and yeah,
yeah. Like I have friends, and should I tell you the good thing about forgiving yourself? Like she said, new life,
yeah,
new life.
new life.
So imagine you. Let me give you an example. You're a bad guy. like in secondary school, university, with bad guy.
Yeah.
Babes, they come, you they run the babes, everything.
Mm.
You're doing it out of maybe your trauma of what do they call it? Your trauma of validation.
Yeah.
So you're doing with those many girls because you want to feel validated. Oh, you
Yeah.
want
You
to
want
feel
to
like
feel
you're
like
a
you're
man.
someone. You're not the same person that they used to talk about.
Yeah, and you lacked the understanding. So now you understand and you've forgiven yourself. Even when people that saw you in that past life, they'll be like, this guy now shall. I have
Yeah.
friends like that.
Mm.
Fine boy, they'll look at him now, shall, but that's not him.
That's not him, honestly.
That's not him. Like you're born new, you've forgiven yourself. Even when see, do you know the good thing about forgiving yourself? Why I tell people forgive yourself first. Because you have some friends that probably when you were going through the stuff, you told them, oh, this is it too.
Mm.
And people they just carry it inside, waiting to just stab it at your
Yeah,
back
at your
when
back.
but
True. And if you've not forgiven yourself,
if
honestly,
you've not forgiven yourself,
yourself.
that's when that person will throw it
Yes,
at you
will
and you'll
hit
be like,
you. But because like on that Omo, that is so profound.
yeah,
Because nobody has the capability to hurt you but yourself. You
yeah,
give people the extent to which they can hurt you.
yeah,
Like it's the whole forgiveness is so broad, like to oneself. So if maybe you did something in the past, you get
yeah,
something, and then you're coming to like form like, oh, you have a new life or something, and so
yeah.
it's not you that did this, I did that. That's not going to hit you because you've forgiven yourself for what happened. But if you're still
Exactly.
battling every day with trying to forgive yourself, it's going
The
to really
moment you forgive yourself, nothing anybody
this
wants to
says
see. So when you forgive yourself, you've come at peace, and you're not like not just yourself. You're at peace with yourself. You're at peace with God.
God.
Nothing anybody
Nothing.
wants to
Do
tell
you
you.
get?
Like it's not even like a confidence thing. Like
It's just
it's
new life, really.
I'm telling
It's
you.
just new life.
Like I tell girls this thing, especially because I've had female friends that will tell me, okay, this thing happened, maybe their stuff casted
Yeah.
or they were with this guy and
He did this
he
to
did this to
them.
them, then they've moved on, they forgive him, then
Yeah.
the guy is now coming back into
Back.
their life, reminding them of those things. Like, it's you when you were
I
me,
did
you were
this, I
sleeping
did
around,
that,
this,
I
that.
did
I
that.
brought you from this, that. So
True.
when you've now forgiven yourself and you have that new life, new
Life.
belief, no matter what they
Not
tell
it's
you,
gone. And this also applies to like our walk with God. So everybody's a sinner, everybody's coming from somewhere, everybody has a
yeah,
story coming to Christ, you get. And I know like it's a real thing in our world today to talk bad about people that, are trying to like follow Christ, especially when they had like a past and everything. So this also talks about the forgiveness of Christ. When Christ forgives you, every other thing is gone. Like that whole old life, that whole is gone. So
yes.
if you're able to understand the love and forgiveness of Christ, you're able to forgive yourself, even when they come and point fingers at you. It cannot do you. That there's nothing it could do to
Even
you.
that forgive myself, I think it was a priest that told me one time during confession. Like
Forgiving
the
yourself
priest just
is
said, first of all, you need to forgive yourself. Because see, there are just two people that those guys can ring in your head. Yourself and God. They'll tell you,
yeah.
you that you have
You
done
that
this
yeah.
and God no
God is
go
not
see you.
finish.
You get but you not say God day your back.
True.
You get so
Honestly. Like and that's it. That's all you actually do need. It's time to let it go, guys. It's time to let go of this thing eating deep into you. Like this thing, forgiveness is like an animal. Well, I won't say it's the devil. Let me know, but it's just something that wants to rob you of peace, wants to rob you of free living, wants to rob you of peace of mind. Like that is what it does. But when you are smart enough and when you know that you're not going to let this thing envelop you, like that's what forgiveness is literally about.
yeah.
Like forgiveness is just letting go of something that wants to consume you, letting it go,
Yeah.
despite how hard it may be. And I know some cases of forgiveness are more severe than others. That's why we have God to help us direct this path. So something, in life, you have to keep forgiving. Things keep happening to you. You have to keep forgiving. Like this is there's apart from other people, like even within yourself, you failed an exam, you failed at a career, this, you did this, like all those things. Life will keep throwing
And
things
stop
at you. You just need to
oversaying
keep
things
forgiving
as mistakes.
yourself.
Stop oversaying things as mistakes.
Stop oversaying things as mistakes.
Do you get that? Like, okay, you have two job offers. One is
Yeah.
offering you 5,000, 500,000. One is offering you 300,000.
Yeah.
You now pick the one that's offering you 500,000.
Yeah.
Then you hear people that got in with that 300,000. After 2 days, they tested them and increased it to 1 million.
Yeah.
So you're not feeling, oh, you made a mistake. But don't see it as a mistake. You get.
Yeah, that's another thing. Some people cannot forgive themselves because of, just imagine now, dollar. Like, let me give you a very brief story. So let's say
Okay.
I have, amen, it's be me one day. Let's say I have like a certain amount and I convert it to dollars. When dollars to naira was at 1.5, and then I converted like money at that rate of 1,500 naira, and then like 2 days later, the thing drops to like 900 naira. You feel die. You feel. Do you get?
Yeah, even talking dollar, I have this guy in my office here. So
Yes.
I have a vendor. Big shout out to my vendors. You can reach out to me for their details. There, I'll give you my handle and all that. So I have this vendor, yeah. So when dollar was hitting like 1K, the
Yeah.
phone he was selling, when the phone my colleague wanted was very cheap.
Yeah.
I think they said he just needs to add like 300 of, sorry, like 600K
Yeah.
plus his own phone and get
To
the
it.
phone. I told this guy was like, don't worry, dollar is dropping,
Mm.
dropping. I'll add 500. Like once he gets 500, I told him, guy, buy this thing now. He didn't listen to me. Now they're telling him to add 1.2 million.
Wow. If
I'm
you forgive me,
serious.
okay, let's forgive ourselves. But there are some things that will be hard for you to
Ah.
forgive.
but you just
let
have
it go,
to
guys.
let it go.
Let
And
it
let
go.
me teach you another forgiveness technique. This
Okay.
works for both
Tip number. I think you're on tip number
forgiving.
4. No, you're on tip number 3. Yeah.
Yeah, this works for both forgiving and overthinking.
Yeah.
So they call it the 10 minutes. It's actually 5 minutes
Yeah.
theory, but you can also call it 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So they ask you what this person did to you now. Like, let's say Dara broke up with me or something. They will ask you, this thing that just happened today,
Mm-hmm.
are you going to be thinking about it or worrying about it in the next 10 years
Ah.
or 5 years? That's why they use 5 minutes theory.
Yeah.
So don't bother about it for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, soak about it, feel everything you want to feel.
Yeah.
But after 5 minutes, don't think about it anymore.
That's so like.
It helps. They use it
Generally
for
speaking, a lot of
overthinking,
things we're
but
overthinking about. In the next 10 years, 5 years, is it going to be? Like, is it
It's
actually going to
it's
be
an actual theory, the 5 minutes theory.
that a therapist taught you?
No,
You just got to
I
know about
read
it.
lots of psychology books and
Oh,
I take lots of certifications in the aspect. So yeah,
wow. That's really good. Like,
yeah. So
like you're
don't
just going to have like a quick.
like do see, cry, eat, do whatever you want to do for 5 minutes, but after that, move on.
I know sometimes it's going to be harder than just 5 minutes, but basically the whole point is some of these things you're killing yourself about won't matter in the next 10 years. Like, there will
Yeah.
be nothing. You probably forgot about it.
You have something else bothering you. And another thing, yeah, life always comes with problems. I was watching another video. The guy was explaining how life is in stages, and each of those stage has problems.
And problems
So in every phase of your life, you always have problems.
always.
Always. You might solve one today, another one will come about. Today now you will fix all your car problems. Your car doesn't have problems again. Before you know it, it's now you need to go and buy medication. You're having malaria. So, or it might be your job, it might be your boss.
Yeah.
So just learn to forgive.
Yeah. So
And why I said you should not forget is because of you have to learn.
can you even forget?
You have to learn, because not just learn what the person did, but learn from
Learn
how you put yourself.
Yeah. Analyze everything.
Yeah,
right.
so you can't forget.
That
Like,
when it comes, you're not caught off guard. You know it.
So-
you understand the tactics, and
So-
you're able to.
that's why in the beginning of the podcast I mentioned the whole rape, the whole killing your mother, because
Yeah.
those are like some of the deepest things you have to
Deepest things
forgive
ever.
in this life.
Ask for grace, guys.
You have to forgive, and you guys need to forgive Tinubu for what Tinubu is doing to this
Oh my god,
country.
can you actually forgive Nigeria? Can you forgive? Oh my god, that's
Forgive.
another angle. My god, my
You have
god.
to forgive. See, you have to forgive Tinubu, forgive Buhari. It's hard though, but you have to.
You have to let
And
it go,
see it
honestly.
as a form of when I forgive, something good is coming my way.
Uh-uh.
If you forgive Tinubu now, I don't know, $5 billion contract. You
Maybe that's
just
the way you see it. Okay, that's good because actually, what you think, I mean, what you consume, what you believe so much comes to you. But I just feel like just do it because you all those anger, hate,
it's
resentment.
bad.
It's not good
It's
for your
all toxic.
health. It's
It's all
It's not good
toxic.
for you. So just let it go, basically.
I
So
tell
yeah,
people have a toxic detox. Remove yourself from toxicity.
and
Yeah.
touch lives
And
more.
forgive people. I have lots of people in my life that I shouldn't forgive, but I've forgiven them. Like if they call me today, Andrew Alpha, I'll answer them. No matter how
Yeah,
you got my number, I'll answer you and I'll talk to you. If you need my help, I'll help you if I can. So in all things, forgive no matter what the person
forgive.
did to you. And if you feel that person is the kind of person you can talk to that has sense. Because now if I tell you go and talk to your toxic ex, the ex is still toxical. The ex nothing changed.
Actually,
So they'll still
it's still
come
the
and tell
same
you the
toxic person.
same. So those kind of people, you remove your leg from it. But if it's someone that you know, oh, you can talk to the person. Sometimes what might have happened might not be what actually happened. Sometimes it's all in your head. But don't allow people use that one to manipulate you. Stay
Yeah,
sharp.
stay sharp.
Yeah. So
Stay
stay sharp. I'm
jiggy.
just giving you a scenario because let me give there I said I should give examples. Okay. Let me give an example with like my mom. So I noticed my mom doesn't always post my own picture because I have lots of siblings. Like I stay with her like sometimes, but she doesn't always post my picture.
Ewo,
And I was not like,
problem. Oh.
why don't you post my picture? I went to ask her now, like, that what happened? Am I not fine?
Oh my
See,
god.
I'm not
Oh
calling your
my
children. I'm me
god.
fine parcel. And she actually corrected me and said, no, I shouldn't talk like that. And she said, it's because of I don't send out my pictures.
Ah, another angle.
So
That's what my mom did
sometimes,
to me recently, but let me
sometimes,
not talk about that.
sometimes it's not about what you are thinking.
Really, it's
What
all
you're
in your head.
thinking might just all be in your head. So when it now and see the thing with that here, when that kind of thing that happens, you now feel guilty.
For what you
You
did.
now feel guilty for why did I think in this manner? But
Yeah, that's so true.
so if you feel the person is someone you can talk to,
Yeah.
talk to them, open up to them, and learn how to communicate with people, like people in general and specific
So
people.
this is you giving your 2 cents for the episode, right?
Yeah, I
Because
guess so.
okay.
So just I can like you can reach out to me. We can have one-on-one conversations and all
Counseling
that.
session, psychology. Since he does read a lot of books and takes a lot of certifications.
You know, I'm serious. You can like
Yeah, I can put
it's
his
from
yeah.
every angle, and we'll give each other like the best and suitable thing that we can do.
Yeah. I think so
But
too.
always and don't share too much with people that don't have sense.
How you know people don't have sense? Because people can change.
I
I feel
agree
like
with you. I
people
agree
can
with
change.
you.
People can just
100.
they will just be months all of a sudden. Whatever happens, just forgive. Honestly,
Just
just forgive.
forgive.
Let it go. Because you
It
can't
can be your best friend
can
that
be your
one day
best
they
friend.
just switch. Boom.
Well, you just need to just forgive and let it go. Like
Yeah.
so, guys, this is part 2, and I think I'm done with our mini series on forgiveness. If you feel like you have something more to share about forgiveness, you could send me a DM if you have my number on WhatsApp, or reach out to us on our podcast Instagram page, the
Woo
Chidera
woo
Onoha.
TCO TCO
Oh,
TCO
stupid, stupid, stupid.
TCO.
Or you could also just like send me there's a link where you could send me like a voice note, and I'll get it on the app. Basically, just me tell me what you guys think. This forgiveness is something that we cannot like explain completely. No, we can explain, but there's a lot to touch on. So basically, yeah, yes, guys, it's time to let it go. that hurt, that
Let
anger.
it go.
Let it, let
Let
it
it
go.
go.
Can't
Don't
hold
hold
it
it back
back anymore.
anymore.
Let
Let
it
it
go.
go.
Let
Let
it
it
go. You know
go.
the next part. Turn your back. You know what? Basically, guys, so yeah, we finally come to the end of the podcast episode.
Bam, bam, bam. It
And
wouldn't have ended though.
it would not have ended. I just
We
had
can
to,
talk
like, this
about
is my
this topic.
longest. There, you can talk. This is 49 minutes. I don't think I've
See,
ever.
that's the reason why I don't really like phone calls. Because
Like,
I can be so expressive and
49
detailed
minutes
about
in,
things.
but like, I think it was needed, and people are
Yeah,
going to pick what they need from the episode. And yeah,
yeah.
that's it. So, guys, you already know. See you guys same time next week. The link to the Q&A where you can ask me various questions for the last episode for this season is in the description. Please, you guys, ask away. Thank you. So yeah, there are any 2 cents before we close the episode.
I think I've already given more than 2 cents. I mean,
Honestly,
what
you've
did
given a lot of 2
you-
cents, but
So what I just want to say, I just want to just use the opportunity to say thank you for having me.
you're
It's
welcome.
nice to put my voice out there.
It's nice.
So I'm sure lots of people, it should impact them.
Yeah.
Maybe the 2 cents I can say is forgive yourself first of all. That's the most important, and move with God.
Yeah.
Just move with God. Always remember, no matter the big sin you committed, God forgive you, and you have to forgive
Yeah.
someone else. Just take it as your duty for Jesus to forgive you, forgive somebody.
Yeah.
So people will hurt you, people will crush you, people will
Yeah.
do all sorts to you. And Jesus just reminds us to forgive them.
Because he knows it's not good for you. He knows that what forgiveness breeds, and he knows it doesn't do any good. So what unforgiveness breeds, and he knows it doesn't do anything good. So
Yeah, it doesn't.
it
Toxic
doesn't.
energy,
There's
bad.
nothing. It just keeps making problems where there's not. It just keeps
Yeah.
making you regenerate. There's nothing good about that. So
And once you forgive yourself, that voice in your head goes
it goes away, it
goes
runs away
off.
because you've shut it and it's
Yeah.
gone. So guys, bye. I see you guys next week.
Thank
There I say
you.
bye.
Bye everyone. See you whenever.